All praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakwah Kadash. Call Halayimullah, Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shah, Bashem Rakwah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, Barakatah, to the Akim doing the work on the highways and hedges, believing in this truth, and all truth and all honesty. In spirit and in truth. I just woke up and I seen this thing on my YouTube, on my tablet, and I seen a couple of points in there I want to make, starting at right here. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. This is only used for educational purposes only, edifying and educational purposes only. I do not receive monies. I do not promote or advertise this broadcast. So with that being said, let's get into it. Matter of fact, I think I want to pull something up first. Because all roads lead to the M-A-R-K, and there's a systematic way of how, a gradual, systematic way, as the elders always put it, of how the devil place things or does things in the earth. People are not going to see it to the last minute, and even then, they're going to be at a point where they don't have any, for lack of better words, freedom according to this world. All right. I'm just let it play, and then I'm gonna pick it up. Let's go.
But while a single person may not be able to save the world, there is still something you can do to protect your family and yourself.
You cannot turn to a Ponzi schemer and ask him to run a real business, because he doesn't know how. So you can't turn to all of these Ponzi schemers in government who are inflating the currency and say, well, let's solve the crisis in some other way, because they don't know how. So the solution is to quit depending on the same people with the same mentality to solve our problems.
If governments won't go back on a gold standard, individuals can go back on the gold standard all by themselves. Politicians can create fiat money at will. That's why it's fiat. So why would you want to put your faith in that? Put your trust in politicians and bureaucrats and central bankers when you can just have something real that has intrinsic value. That is
because people believe in they believe in Egypt. They believe in America, aka Sodom, Egypt, aka Babylon the Great. They believe in their doctors, their politicians. This is the life. This is the deception that the beast has promoted for years. To some people, it's a normal. It's a normalcy. They feel this is the way the world runs. The Lord haven't revealed Himself unto them, so that's it. That's why it's gonna be. People put their faith in that, like he just said. Why put your faith in these things? And why put your faith? Why put your faith in these people? And you know how they are. Okay. But I want to get. Let me go up. I want to get Ecclesiastes 14:10, starting at verse 8, because this is the part of them. Esau, Edom, the red man who the world ignorantly calls white. Top Esau, the ones that run the earth at this time, or rule the earth at this time. The envious man having a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despised men. Who's more envious than Esau? He wants everything everybody else has since he came out the caves. Everything. Even through treaties, he lied through treaties, whatever peace treaties he kept. Even like what America's been doing with all these sanctions they've been putting out on the countries out here. All right. So you know who the wicked is. The envious man having a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eyes is not satisfied with his portion. Right? Who else is that? He's not satisfied with his portion. He will not what's that in Obadiah? Will not a grape gatherer leave some grapes? But not Esau Edom. He'll rather take that last grape instead of sharing it. He'll take that last grape and bust it on you. All right. That's how much of a niggard, because we're gonna get to that. And this is again Ecclesiasticus chapter 14, and I'm gonna go to verse 9. A covetous man's eyes is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. Verse 10. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and he is a niggard at his own table. So he envies his bread. So he even has a envious eye toward their own people. You've seen it through history, and I don't even want to bring up the case because, all right, I'm gonna bring it up. Back during what was that? What were you gonna call that? Was it after the Cold War? The whole I'll just say the whole cost thing. All right. During that time, they were two of the same people that were torturing their own people. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and is a niggard at his table. Let's look at what niggard means. And I'm just go to the Google definition. Matter of fact, let me go to the blue Bible. No, I ain't gonna get it there. I ain't got it there because it's gonna be in there. I'll go here because they're not giving me what I found out before, so I don't. Let's see definition. Thank you. This is Oxford Languages.
Niggard.
A stingy or ungenerous person. Who's more stingier than Esau Edom? Or, ungenerous. They can sit up here and smile in your face, tell you how they got 5 vacations coming up within the next 6 months. And you haven't been on a vacation, and you haven't been on a paid vacation ever in life, I don't think. But you haven't been on a vacation in 6 years, let alone it being paid. I'm telling you, man, this shit. Let's keep on going, though.
There is still something you can do to protect your family and yourself.
You cannot turn to a Ponzi schemer and ask him to run a real business because he doesn't know how. So you can't turn to all of these Ponzi schemers in government who are inflating the currency and say, well, let's solve the crisis in some other way, because they don't know how. So the solution is to quit depending on the same people with the same mentality to solve our problems.
If governments won't go back on a gold standard, individuals can go back on the gold standard all by themselves. Politicians can create fiat money at will. That's why it's fiat. So why would you want to put your faith in that? Put your trust in politicians and bureaucrats and central bankers when you could just have something real that has intrinsic value, that is scarce, and that is going to remain scarce.
Would you rather have gold or a fiat currency? And we see what's happening in the world, and obviously people are starting to figure out that gold was likely to sustain its value way more than a piece of paper is.
Hold on. And this is the thing about these guys. All right, you got gold. Are you saying that you're going to get rid of fiat currency? Like we didn't already know it was going down. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Rashah and our elders of the great millstone, you know, and those like minds, we've already been told what's about to happen. So it's no coincidence that y'all about to get rid of the fiat currency. The thing is, what step is you going to take it to? That's what, you know, as watchers, you have to out there watching, be mindful, and you know this is the way that we let our people know what's coming, that the word of Yahweh Shem Rashah is true. All right. With that, I'm going to get Jeremiah 49:7. Concerning Edom, thus says the Lord Yahweh of hosts, which means armies, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? They don't know what to do no more. The whole idea of running the world according to their technology, you know, they not spiritually, not spiritual at all. No understanding. Like even like when Gad and Reuben came over here, you know, it looked a whole lot more beautiful than what's going on right now. The skies, everything tasted different. The animals, everything. Vegetation, everything. And since the course of them people being over here, you know, since the 1600s, they've been over here, something like that, 1700s. So in the course of so many thousand years, boy, kaput.
Scarce, and that is going to remain scarce.
Kaput.
Would you rather have gold or a fiat currency? And we see what's happening in the world, and obviously people are starting to figure out that gold was likely to sustain its value way more than a piece of paper is. It's not that the price of gold is going up, it's that the value of the dollar is going down. The price remains constant in terms of human effort and purchasing power. An ounce of gold today will buy the same thing it bought 2,000 years ago. An ounce of gold today takes so much human effort to get out and refine the same human effort that it took to do certain things 2,000 years ago. It's the human effort equation that maintains stability. How much effort does it take?
Gold is financial insurance. And the thing about it is you own it because you want to be protected. And, you know, you just have to have it if you want to have or sleep at night, because there's nothing else. You know, if some catastrophic event happens, and we've seen them, how are you going to be protected?
The current financial system may be dying.
Check this out. Ezekiel chapter 7. Since it sounds like they're trying to get you all gold is what's going to help you, right? So people going to go out there and try to buy their gold. What does the Lord have to say? Yep. This is Ezekiel chapter 7. And I'm going to start at I'm starting at 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city. Famine and pestilence shall devour him. Verse 16. But they that escape them shall escape, and shall be on the mountains like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning, every one for his iniquity. And, Slakia, 17. All hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. Every knee shall bow. Verse 18. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and honor shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. Verse 19. They shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed. Their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. That's the point. They shall not satisfy their souls, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. All the time. But even in the system, Egypt, go wherever they could present to you, like what these devils saying right now. Many people are going to take that they're not going to resist Revelation 13 and 16. Heads, baldness, head with a grievous sore. Not even your gold. So what these guys telling you, let's keep watching.
But where there is chaos, there is also opportunity. As the old model falls apart, the door may be opened for great prosperity.
It's clearly not the end of the world. I mean, it's probably not even the end of America. For many countries, this is going to be the beginning.
On the contrary, very well, that's exactly what it means. This is the end time. The whore that all the nations have fornicated with will be destroyed. From the inside out, however you want to say it. From the outside in. Let me keep going.
An economic boom, a giant burden being lifting off their shoulders, where the world no longer has to loan trillions of dollars to Americans so that we can continue to consume what we don't produce. When this comes to an end, the world will benefit. So it is not something that we should fear. We should embrace it as a world.
This is the greatest wealth transfer in history. If we have a global currency crisis, then you're going to see a greater wealth transfer than has ever happened in all of history. It's all going to happen at once. Therefore, it's the greatest opportunity.
We have millions of people now taking an interest in what is money, the question of what is money, what should it be? And they're learning, especially a lot of young people.
The sun will rise tomorrow, as it has a million times before. Commuters will wake up and travel to their offices to begin the day's work. Farmers will tend to their crops, and construction workers will build new infrastructure. But will the world they live in still be the same? In 2008, the world was given a wake-up call. The biggest financial crash in human history was delayed by the same poor decisions that brought it about in the first place. What that massive bailout bought us was not a solution, but merely time. Time for the people responsible to wring the last few dollars out of a dying system. But also, for those able to see the cliff edge approaching, time to protect themselves and their families from the imminent plunge. And in the end, that time may prove to be the most valuable commodity of all.
There are these brief moments in history.
That's it. I'm done. I don't want to hit all the... You see how they bring the violins in? They bring all the music in, the cellos. Try to get you in his eye. They think about a peaceful time, right? It sounds beautiful. I want to bring up an oldie but goodie. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. I'm going to start at verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need, have no need, Slakia, ye have no need that I write unto you. When the time comes, y'all, we don't have to do these videos no more. When that time comes, the Lord's gonna hide his prophets, his hope, his elect, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. We're not going to be hopeful at that time. We're going to be a part of the elect. You know, he gonna we ain't gonna have to write to each other anymore. You know, Lord willing, you know, we're part of that number. You know, He's gonna put His laws, His statutes, Commandments, His judgments in our inward parts. You know, well, we can look forward to that. I'm saying, Lord willing, Yahweh Shai Ratazah. You know, and His mercy to His mercy, by His mercy. Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord is cometh as a thief in the night. Like He said, it's going to happen suddenly. They have a whim of it. They believe me, they know a lot more than we know when it comes to how they run in the world. Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. You know. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. You know, that day when they Jacob's trouble, the mark. You know, when they actually take that money away, and they present a so-called better, more peaceful, more safe way of running the world. You know, you won't be able to buy or sell. You know, I hope this lesson is edifying. Again, I didn't want it to be too long, but once again, we're gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Raquah Kadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. To the hopeful elect, endure, 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 endure. Yahweh Wah, Yahweh Shah, Ratazah, and Barakatah, Tarakim. Till next time, family. Shalom.